Hello and welcome to the 124th, maybe something like that, dev update. We'll have to fact check me on that. With me today, you can see this spiraling, beautiful visualization right here to my left. We have an audio guest joining us today, a very, very special guest. It is Mr. Pixel from CyberVerse. How you doing, Mr. Pixel? Thanks for joining us.
Hey man, thanks for inviting me. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. You should see. You can't see it from your end, but there's this the music visualizers might be a little too trippy, but it's going to be cool. Every time you talk, it kind of spikes up, so it's neat. Um, so I'm so happy to have you on the show. I've been asking you for maybe 5 years to have you on the show, Mr. Pixel, and finally got you to agree. It took like 3 poker tournaments, a couple things of whiskey and tequila, and then a lot of cyberverse to get you on here. But I've got a lot of questions to ask you about cyberverse, about your time in Ergo. So let's get started. Sound good?
Yeah. It's so weird, man.
All right, let's do it. So let's start from the beginning. Why Ergo? What got you into Ergo? Like, give me the basic of, where you're walking on the street and you saw like an e-sticker somewhere, and you're like, oh my gosh, I wanna build this game on Ergo. I want to start this. What are the origins of your creation here in Ergo?
I mean, to be honest, I personally started a collection named Ergo Pixels because I saw it. I saw Charles Hoskinson's talking about it, and then I
So you started an NFT thing, Ergo Pixels?
yeah, because during that time there was only Ergo auction house,
Right,
and
right, right.
I
Yeah.
was like, let's give it a shot. Maybe it's gonna be my hobby.
Little did you
So
know, you just screwed yourself over for a long time.
yeah, so I tried and I see it was actually very easy to mint NFTs. Also, it was very cheap, and also community was very very welcoming. So I just keep pushing. Minting NFTs.
So was that that
And
was that was that was Ergo Pixels version 1, right? They're just the flat images, pixel based art.
yeah, exactly. It was some 24 times 24 pixels, and I was auctioning them, and people love them. So we made a drop, and it sold out within 4 days because I was sending them manually
Wow.
that during the
Wow.
time.
Oh, one transaction at a time.
Sorry, what?
One transaction at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
So
my.
it took
Wait, how many were there? How many were there?
250. So it took me 2 days, two all day, full all days, to mint them, and then
Wow.
4 days to actually send them out.
Holy
Yeah.
cow. That's amazing. So did you drew these version 1 cyber citizens, right?
Yeah, I drew them all by myself. Like
What do
it
you
took me. Sorry, what?
what app do you use to do that? What was your creation tool?
It was some pix. It was named Pixel something. I don't know. It was on website. It was editor on website.
Oh my
I
goodness.
because I just like the images, so I just drew 250 images within 2 weeks.
Just one, like literally one pixel at a time, like in MS Paint, you're kind of drawing these things.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. Holy cow, that's amazing. And those guys are still up on the auction house. You can still find some at Sky Harbor in the auction house, right?
Yeah, and now there is also Crooksmart when you can where you can list them.
Crooksmart. I will say that I just bought a Ergonian era. No, what is it? How do you say that? Metal. I bought a jackhammer.
Jackhammer,
Yeah,
Jackhammer
yeah.
item, NFT
I
item. Yeah.
I saw the post that you reposted on Twitter, and I went there, and there was this jackhammer that I've been looking at and trying to build for a long time. And it was 15,000 CYPX, and I was like, okay, that's cheap enough for me to just buy. And I went to the mines immediately after and was like, oh, like or what is it, 9 seconds for most things, something like
Yeah,
that.
it's within seconds. I don't
It's,
really know about the specific right now because we have a lot of things built.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You just walk into the mines and hit slash mine diamonds, and boom. It just minds it for you, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you built these cyber citizens, this first version of Ergo Pixels, and what happened next?
I mean, people love them, and I wanted to expand. So then we made Cyber Citizens Gen 2.
And same kind of process. Those are flat 2D ones, or
Well,
those?
it took a bit longer because first plan was just do uh uh 250, like few of them.
Yep,
But
yep.
then I got an idea to create a game, CyberVerse.
Would you just
And
wake up at night after a dream and it was like, I'm
no,
gonna.
no, no, it was an idea I had for a while, because for a while, but I didn't have the skills and funds,
Hmm.
so I didn't really. I don't know. I just had an idea, and I saw Ergo Pixels worked out perfectly, so I just gave it a shot. And for now, it's working.
For now. So all right. So how did you go from you just like what you just explained was like how to draw a horse. You drew the stick figure, and then there's this beautiful horse. So give me the meat in between. How did you go from going from let's create Gen 2 cyber citizens and then let's make a game? Like who's involved with that? Who did you find to be able to do this coding? How involved was it? How involved were you in that? The creative process in total for that.
I mean, we got just a few people that I'm working with. For example, Hero. Hero is the important person in our team who's managing, who's working on the game. He's our game developer. And then we have Hero, Neon, Breeze, who's working on blockchain stuff, like for taking care of nodes that are sending rewards and crafting items and so on. And then we have Mongo, who's taking care of website, and
So
artist and music composer, and that's it.
Mongo does art and music.
No, no, no. Mongo does
The
a
nodes.
website,
Yep.
website, and we got artist named Kohari and music composer named Matteo.
Okay, that's right. That's right. That is one thing that drew me into CyberVerse when I first launched the game. Just this kind of not ambient, but this like I don't know, the music just like it slaps, but it's like very calm and very like engaging and very like at the same time able to sit there in the background and give you that mood to the game. It's like perfectly written for what that game is, the visual aspect of it. How did you luck out like that?
I don't know. Matteo is just a really skillful person. I just told him. I just sent him references, or just told him what am I expecting for next work, and he just created. He just do the magic.
Whew. So what? Well, let's sub block off that music part because I like that. So you also had THD compose a couple of specialty tracks for you, correct? For some sort of event.
Oh wait, sorry, what?
You had THD, Liquid Mike,
Oh
compose some
yeah,
tracks
yeah.
for you.
We integrated them as default songs to the game as a part of collaboration.
And those are those actually are those essentially keys to soundtracks in the game, or can people listen to those soundtracks on the like through IPFS as itself? Are those actually recordings on IPFS linked to, or are they
Oh no,
games?
no,
Actually, I
it's
actually
in the
never
game.
bothered to look. So it's in the game only. And didn't
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hear something? Didn't I hear something that you were going to make a player that people could play through these songs themselves outside of the game, or something like that?
Oh no, 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 no. We'll be publishing them on YouTube and Spotify.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. All right, so we've gotten as far as you've made Gen 1 pixels, you then made Gen 2, and then you had a eureka moment in the middle of the night and woke up and was like, I want to devote a lot of my time to painstakingly create this game. And you found a dev, you found a music composer, another artist, a website person, you found a couple people to help you out in this endeavor and move forward. And now we have CyberVerse in all its beauty, and you just released something called on Twitter. I saw version 3 of the driving game, which is it's just amazing. So so my question is, how the hell do you guys have all this time? Is this like most of your full-time gigs, or is this a side project for all you guys, or are there some like where one person it is full-time and then the rest it's side? Like it just seems like you guys are constantly pumping out updates all the time, so fast that you sometimes don't put in a dev update, and I have to try to mention it from what I can remember.
Yeah, I mean, all of us are part-time, you know. I recently been focusing more for CyberVerse, and I'm planning to do full-time CyberVerse stuff,
That's
and also want to uh, invite Hero, our game developer, to also do full-time in CyberVerse. We just need a bit more time for that.
so your next step in all of this, Siberia, is to move cross chain, right? You've already kind of allowed Cardano wallets to log in and do their stuff, but what's your step in more fully integrating other blockchains in that matter?
Okay, so before, let me make it clear because I saw some people in general have been putting. We will stay on servers. We are not moving to on another chain. We will
That's
just
people
connect.
love to people love to fund like that. That's for sure.
Yeah, there was one person, I think, or 2% people,
Yeah.
but we are staying on servers. We are just connecting other chains, and we recently connected to Cardano with wallet, and we are also planning some NFT drops there, so people can fully play from Cardano as well. And also, we plans to expand more to other chains, but things takes times. Things take time, you know.
Yeah,
Build.
yeah, of course, of course. So you're going to utilize. Tell me how you're going to leverage Rosen and how exactly that connection is going to look. Let's say Rosen finally bridges to Ethereum in what, a month or 2 or 3 months, whenever they're going to do it. And I'm an Ethereum user, and I hear about this crazy nostalgic game called CyberVerse, and I want to play it. What's that going to look for me, and how I'm going to be able to? Where am I going to be able to own my NFTs? Where am I going to be able to am I going to use Rosen CYPX to buy things in game? What's that scenario look like in those cross chain events?
I mean, we'll be utilizing RosenBridge for our token,
So ju-
CyberPixel.
so Rosen Cyber CYPX will come over.
Yeah, exactly. So people can redeem those tokens from their blockchain. You know, for example, if you are on Cardano, you can redeem a Rosen CyberPixels and don't have to connect Ergo wallet to redeem those tokens. So it will be about the token for RosenBridge.
And what about like I just bought that jackhammer that sits in my Ergo wallet? How does that relationship work with
Well,
bridged chains?
well, if you create your account on in servers from, for example, Cardano, you can link your Ergo wallet in settings and can hold those NFTs on Ergo and still use them in the game. But also we will have some, for example, those Jackhammers NFT items. They will be minted on different supported blockchains on in servers.
Gotcha, gotcha. So everything will be duped as far as what's available or what's possible on every single blockchain that you're connecting to as well.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, not
Very
not
cool.
not everything. For example, cyber citizens will stay on Ergo, and but there
Wait,
was
really,
some
really?
talk.
Wow.
There was some talk about doing centralized bridge, so you can bridge from Ergo to Cardano and from Cardano to Ergo. Those citizens.
I gotcha. Okay, very interesting. So mostly, if people are going to want, at least early on, for the time being, if they want to own a citizen and create and get yield off those citizens for, what is it called? You activate them, right, in the daily rewards. They're going to have to purchase that and have an Ergo wallet on the Ergo blockchain.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Um, Well, tell me this. Let's back up a little bit. What was your give me your inspiration for this kind of artwork, this kind of pixel based artwork? I know you like doing that for designing that artwork, but is that something like you always liked those kind of 1980s movies or those kind of those games like Larry the when I first played it I was like holy shit, this is a like Leisure Suit Larry kind of thing from the late 80s, or California Dreamin', whatever those games where I played on the Apple IIe's, with the color screen or whatever that version of that machine was. That was green screen, I think, but same kind of idea. What was your inspiration for that?
I mean, I've always been a fan of games. I'm a player, gamer, and I mean, uh, I don't know. I just liked the like the theme, like late Miami vibes. The Cerberus reminds me Vice
Miami
City.
Vice City. Okay,
Yeah,
so you're
exactly.
big. You enjoy playing Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So this is kind of a 2D or a top-down 2D, 3D representation. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. All right. So um what are your plans? So far in CyberVerse, right? We have gambling, we have games such as, right, there's a jukebox game, there's the bar game, there's the driving game, there's a sheep and wolf multiplayer game too. Um,
There are a
did
lot
I
of games and activities.
did I miss anything? Keep going, keep going. What I miss?
Well, we got gardening, we got mining, we got
Gardening. Yep.
fishing,
Mine.
we got apartments that you can own and customize, and also have mining rigs to mine pixels, and also furnaces, and a lot of stuff. Like there is plenty of things you can do in Cerberus, and a
So,
lot of things are planned.
so what are so right now for multiplayer we have the driving game and the sheep game, sheep and wolf. Anything else that you can say safely that you're planning to bring multiplayer to kind of get that more more people on to at once, doing those kind of things that bring people on and get them to stay?
Well, our next focus will be survival, like open world.
All right, run that by me slowly. How's that look? Tell me.
Well, there will be a lot of new items. You will be able to uh, create items to kill mobs, to get another better items. Like
So
explore a bigger map. There will be a very bigger map for survival to
holy shit. All
explore.
right. So bigger map. So it's the Siberia, Cyber City will actually be a city on that map that you can go into the wilderness essentially and kill mobs, gather
Exactly.
resources, build things. Holy cow! All right, are you allowed to say how far away that is? Are you beta testing, alpha testing that at all, or
No,
designer stuff?
I cannot.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. All right. So based on that kind of thing, materials and building, I was playing it the other day and I thought to myself, okay, how do they sit down and come up with the idea that to make this jackhammer, it takes these 8 parts to make, some of the parts in that jackhammer, 8 parts, it takes 3 parts to make one of those 3 parts, it makes 1 part. How do you sit down and come up with those crafting recipes? Is there like a formula for that? Or are you and Hero just sitting down with an Excel sheet with a flow chart and saying like, this is how everything fits out? What was that process?
To be honest, the crafting recipes are on me. That's why community hates me mainly
I
because
don't blame
I'm
them.
I'm really bad in crafting recipes, but thanks to our community, I always try to balance things, like improve them or change them. For example, right now there will be update for crafting recipes, for energy items, and also for stamina spent for
Yep.
crafting recipes, because some well, not some, a lot of people complain about the crafting recipes takes the items you can craft takes a lot of time, and also takes a lot of energy. I mean
Yep.
stamina.
So you're kind of doing a rebalancing there for that.
Yeah, exactly. based
Damn.
on community members or that suggested some crafting recipes.
So I want
Shout out to Kilber. Shout out to Kilber.
Kilver. Yeah, Kilver definitely needs a shout out. Kilver's a great representative of a player that's passionate about the game, streaming it. So if anybody can catch it, find Kilver streams. Is he still streaming every Sunday, or has he backed off on that a little bit?
Oh no. He doesn't have time for now.
Okay, but those are always fun to watch Kilver do that. That's for sure. Um, okay, all right, so. Yeah, so it is funny those what's it called? I'll be thinking I was trying to build a mining rig recently.
Oh
And
no.
I was looking at the recipe and I was like, this is gonna take me a fucking month or more, maybe more. It was pretty intense, but I started it. And then I end up buying a couple parts here. But that's the thing too. Sometimes it's hard to find a part for something because it's so hard to make, and somebody who makes it is like, I'm using it for myself. So
I
it
mean,
is
for some. I mean, some items you can trade with other players because we have also trade feature where you can trade items or uh, items only for
so
other items or cyber pixels with other players.
can you talk about that? Can you tell me how much, right? There's quite a bit of volume going through the internal auction house inside CyberVerse, right?
Oh, do you mean community market, please?
Yeah, community market.
Yeah, well, we have community market where you can list items, in-game items, and other players can buy them. And there is also trade feature where you can trade uh, with other player in present. Like
Right, you
you
can
come
walk up to
come
somebody
to.
just like the old
Yeah,
Diablo 1 days. You can
yeah,
walk up and
exactly.
get trade. Yeah, yeah. That is pretty neat. So what's it called? And you also have some you've introduced something to the actual, like the guy that takes you mining in the mines. You can sell things to him, or the fisherman, you can sell things to him based on, that's a rotating thing that you added recently to help offload kind of supplies instead of the marketplace.
Well, we get also merchant NPCs, like you said, the guy who move you to cave island, and also in gardening there is also merchant NPC, and each merchant has its own niche. For example, in gardening you can trade with NPC gardening items, and in cave you can trade ores, I mean ingots, sticks, and such stuff. And we also have sketchy dealer
Oh yeah, yeah.
that spawns randomly around the map.
I
And the
have not.
difference is,
I
sorry,
haven't
what?
dared deal with Sketchy Dealer yet. I have not dared touch him. Does he?
Yeah,
So he will. So if you offer, how's that work? If you offer some items to him, he'll give you some. He'll give you a lower value for them. But then there's also a chance he'll steal one of those items from you and
yeah,
not pay you.
there is also chance to scam you. But the difference between sketchy dealer and merchants is that with the sketchy dealer you can sell unlimited items, and with merchants there are deals, like
Okay.
that regenerate every few hours.
Whose idea was the Sketchy Dealer?
Uh, well, I think it was community ideas
So
because they were. Sorry, what?
is that a big thing in cyberverse? Is that a big thing where you really take guidance from the community about what comes up next or what you're building? How do you take that feedback, and how do you take it in a constructive way that doesn't ruin what you've made? Because there's nothing that can ruin something quicker than listening to listening to community members sometimes. So how do you filter that out? How do you recognize what's just somebody bitching or a pain point that is really more beneficial, and filter that out from something that is like, wow, that's a great idea, or yeah, I like that idea, but we can try it this way instead. How do you deal with that? How do you manage that?
Well, we take community's feedback very serious. For example, the sketchy dealer was added before after we published update with decreased item prices, and
Right,
also
right, yep.
there was also the
The
deals.
decreased
And
daily rewards too. That was the same update with the daily
oh, yeah,
reward
yeah,
reduction.
Yeah,
That probably
there was
wasn't very popular, was it?
yeah, exactly. People were, the community was a bit disappointed because they weren't earning as much as before, you know,
Yeah.
and it was a bit a shock for them. And the problem was people shared with us that the deals, the merchant deals that were also added during the time before the sketch leader was added, that the feature is very restricted because they couldn't sell an infinity items to the NPC.
Mm.
So we heard them and we added sketch dealer that can where you can sell unlimited items, but there is a chance you get scammed, and also there is a bit reduced price compared to normal price of the items.
Right,
If
right. And do you have visible stats of that? It'd be funny to see what the overall volume is with sketchy dealers, so you can see like
oh
what the
no no
underground is.
no, we don't have that. That secret of sketchy dealer, you know. He doesn't share the secret
He
with
does.
us.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. All right, so what I hear that I'm really excited about is you're moving to a bigger world with crafting of weapons as well. Gosh, now I'm not going to be able to sleep at night. That sounds like a lot of fun. Damn, but that sounds like a lot of freaking work. Are you guys just testing? How do you? What if somebody wants to come to you and say, look, I have 30 hours a day that I play CyberVerse. I'd love to help you test these alpha features. I'll sign an NDA and whatever. Do you have a need for that kind of thing, or are do you just test amongst yourselves the best you can and then release the kind of a beta from there?
Well, majority of updates are tested by the team, but some updates, for example, multiplayer mini games or something like that, are tested with OG players, you know,
Okay,
because I trust
that's true.
those people.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. No, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Not at all. Okay. All right. Anything else you want to say about Cyberverse? Where can people find it? Is there a good landing page you want people to go to first? Like I saw you had the Siberia Wikipedia up that was pretty neat. Or is there some, your main website? Where do you suggest people go to first if they've never tried Cyberverse or are interested in it?
Well, serverswiki.com. There is a lot of information, and was created by Lexi, who's
Oh,
also community member.
Lexi's the one that beat you guys in the race that you had as a demo up on your post today, isn't aren't they?
Sorry, what?
Lexi got first in the car race, version 3 demo that you put up today on the video.
Oh, I don't know that.
It was, yeah, it was,
I
Lexi
mean,
came right in first. Yeah, yeah.
I was editing the video, but I didn't notice that.
Oh boy. All right, awesome. Anything else you want to add before we switch over to the dev update reading? I'm really happy to have you on here. I mean, if that's your punishment, Mr. Pixel, that if you refuse, if you don't have enough time to do text dev updates every week for your game, then I'm just gonna have to snag you on here every so often so you can make up for it. That sound like
Oh
a
no,
deal?
don't do this to me.
No, no, this is fantastic, sir. All right, anything you want to leave us with before we jump into the reading?
I mean, I don't know. Play servers and wait for a bull market.
And right, you can get Cyberverse on Crooks Finance, Spectrum,
Scrabble.
Sky Harbor, or Ergo Auction House for any of the NFTs. And if anybody's watching, you want to try it out, uh, I've got a I've got several cyber citizens that I'm happy to lend you. I think I lent some guy on Twitter two cyber citizens a couple months ago. I think he's still playing. I hope he is. I haven't checked to see if they went to auction house or not, but I think he wanted one for one of his kids and him. But yeah, so yeah, feel free to ping me too if you just want to test it out. But also, right, you have a feature where you can jump on without a cyber citizen and have kind of a limited playing experience.
Yeah, I mean, servers is free to play. You can play only with default character, so you don't need cyber citizen. But if you have one, you get better benefits in earning and such things.
So it just you save in your internal database the character that is bound to their wallet, even though they don't have an NFT kind of thing, or do you send them an NFT when they first connect if they don't have one?
Well, I mean, I was talking about the free to play that there is a default. You don't need any NFT.
Right. But that free to play character can actually level, and there's no restrictions on how they level,
But
or
you cannot level that one. You need
okay, so
NFT to level up and also earn accumulated rewards at the bank.
yep.
And yeah,
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. You gotta, yeah, perfect. So if you want to just test it out and poke around and push the buttons and pull the levers, then hop on with just a Cardano or Ergo wallet, and you'll be given this demo character essentially. And if you like it, hop onto Sky Harbor or Ergo Auctions or Crooksmart and grab an NFT that you can start leveling. Super cool. I know I enjoy CyberVerse a lot. I think it's a great opportunity of a project on Ergo that ferociously builds all the time to have a big outreach to other crypto chains and communities to bring people into Ergo kind of thing. So I applaud you for that, Mixer Pixel.
I mean, I'm happy you enjoy CyberVerse.
All right, let's move on to the dev update reading here. You got this,
All
Mr.
right.
Pixel. You got this. Perfect.
Wait,
this
wait,
is your
I'll try
this
my
is
best.
this is a punishment part of the call. All right, I'll start off. So we have Anon BR with Nautilus Wallet. They released version 0.11. They fixed an Ergo connector method and added is authorized method. Ergo Ledger.js released version 0.1.15. They increased unit test coverage, now is 100% covered. Refactored all the code base. EIP12 types released version 0.1.11. Added Ergo connector is authorized types. Fixed Ergo sign date types. I can take Kushti if you want to, because that's a long one, Mr. Pixel. Let me do that, and then you'll warm up into Crystal Pool.
Yes, please.
All right. So Kushti says Ergo protocol and reference client R&D. He finished Sigma State Interpreter. There's a pull there. He did another pull 1015 and another 1016 pull for Sigma 6. Now working on the Sigma State Interpreter 006 implementation. Let's see, and a bunch of other pulls there. They can start activation code with polish PRs done. There is need to finish unsigned big ints implementation, also checking the last things against bulletproofs range proof verification. And bulletproofs, if you are not familiar with it, I believe there was an ErgoHack video if you guys want to watch that. Still working on pull 2167 with Fanta, now checking ordering issues reported by Flying Pig. Seems in-memory cache is not sorted. Thanks for testing. Discussing variable difficulty setting with Dionysi for implementing better fork choicing rule from this. Oh, this is the poem, I believe, right? POEM, proof of so I can't remember where the I can't remember the EM, but that was a pretty neat video. I suggest you guys watch that if you guys have time. Checking papers again for faster confirmations and P2P improvements, as after getting done last 6.0 PRs, the plan is to get back to subblocks design and implementation. Yay for subblocks. Lots of people asked for that. Dexy still discussing bootstrapping with Code for Us and Dimitri. Hopefully LP will be launched this week. Fantastic. Other matters, Sigmatree's video. YouTube is right there. That was Kushti's Ergoversary video, and slowly running a first form post on Ergo-specific side chaining constructions. All right. You've got Crystal Pool right here, sir. It's all you.
I'll try my best.
All
Okay,
right.
so Crystal Pool, they deposited proxy contract for mobile wallets done. Contract is compiled for each user on the fly with dynamic transaction fee. Web3 deposit done, see demo. About 30% of deposit feature complete. Remaining 70% are about visual representation of unconfirmed and confirmed transactions. Good job, Nautilus dev. Speed improvements is huge. There is also a video.
Sir? I don't know what the fuck you were worried about, man. That was fantastic. I guess you're going to be here every week reading these because that was great. All right, here we go. Luivatra with Paideia, Treasury consolidation test case, long living contract, which is automatic UTXO refresh when contract updated or UTXO more than 2 years old, off chain code and test case, fixed oversight and proposal allowing a vote to be cast after proposal end time but before proposal evaluation. Crux generalized DEX order backend to include multiple DEXs and created endpoint for it, including WebSocket for live updates. Let's see. Do we have? Oh, yep. Here we go. We've got Koutelier with Comet. Looks like he's got a little update here for you. Are you a fan of Comet, Mr. Pixel?
Yeah, we also have we also added comment emotes to
Yep.
the game.
Yep.
Okay, so should I just okay? I totally missed this. Okay, here goes nothing. I made a new front end for I made a new front end for Nautilus bot since it didn't have any. It's not something fancy. It is actually fancy.
It's
I
nice, isn't it? Yeah.
I actually like it.
Yep.
He did a great job.
He did.
Also, comment update, staying true to our roadmap. Those past few months, we have been completely lazy and didn't deliver anything at all. Yeah.
He's back on the bandwagon of wrecking people, so that's good. That means Comet's back at it. All right. RosenBridge. For RoseNet, they finished a scaled test of sending a direct or broadcast lines messages 100 kilobytes over the network. Started working on retry mechanism for failed messages. Started working on fixing dial issues in burst messaging scenarios. Rosen UI asset calculator, save bridge token IDs inside bridge assets table. For the Rosen app, revised the logic of the Xverse wallet, removed redundant logic for duplicate constants and utilities, develop experimental error handling utilities for server actions, implement variation for P2WPHK, PKH, and P2WSH Bitcoin addresses. Right here for RosenBridge. All right, let's see. Do we have anything else? Oh, here he released Nautilus version 12 during the update day. Right? Are we for? I think that's it. I think you got it easy with a easy update. You know what that means though? That means you need to give us a CyberVerse weekly developer update. Go ahead, tell us what you did this week, sir.
Oh no. Wait, one sec. I mean, do you really want to hear all the details?
I do.
There's a
I do.
lot of things. There is a
Hit me
lot
up.
of things.
Let's hear
Oh
what you did
man.
this week.
Okay, let me try to make it. Let me
Yeah,
try to make a overview, right?
perfect. Give me the Reader's Digest version. Yep, hit it.
Okay, so we we added the cyber racing minigame multiplayer, where you can play up to 20 participants, and if only few players are playing, then the rest of 20 people will be AI bots. And we also added single player mode. Um, we also added advanced car sprites. Both multiplayer and single player modes share the same features. We also added brake function, where you can just hold space and brake.
Like you can tail whip kind of thing,
No, no,
slide
no, no,
turn.
no. We are not that advanced yet.
All right, so just kind of slow down before you hit a puddle or a oil slick or a curve.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Well, basically, you just slow down the car.
Yep.
That's it.
Usually I
And
slow. Usually I slow down the car by running off the side of the track, but it's not on purpose.
okay, so we also added minimap, also added spectator mode, also sense of speed, and join game UI and menu. Uh, Also, there are car tiers where there it's divided to car tier. The car tier one, where there are slower cars, and there is also tier two. There are cars a bit faster. So the races are a bit more fair.
Oh, so
Uh,
if Kilver enters a race with that rare car that he has, he can't enter the same race that I'm in with that car, or how's that work? Is there a
yeah, so basically, if you have tier two car, you can also only race with tier two cars
nice. Okay,
because it
okay,
wouldn't be fair at all, you know.
that's true. That's true. Yep.
we were actually testing with the community yesterday the tier one car, the very basic one you can rent, and it was very slow, so it wouldn't be fair at all. It was like tractor. Yeah, so that's we also the AI players use new drive technology. They cannot strategize as well as humans, giving you a better chance to win. AI replaces players who quit. So
Oh,
if,
no
if you're
way. That's
playing,
awesome.
if you're playing with, for example, player two, who's actually a human, and he suddenly left, he will become a AI like bot,
Okay. Very cool.
and the bots cannot collect coins. Player names remain but turn gray when replaced by AI. Final score is based on the number of players at the start of the race, not the end. Uh, Player's final score depends on tier 1 60 to 250, 240 points based on place and rank, and tier 2 80 to 320 points based on place and rank.
What happens if Kilver um, sets up 20 wallets and joins in 20 tabs and just starts the race and then finishes with one player kind of thing? Does he still get all the points for his one player if nobody even moves off the start line?
Well, there is not a much big difference, you know.
A big difference in what you mean? If he guarantees him first, I mean, I'm just wondering if somebody has like the amount of NFTs and cars to pull that off. That'd be interesting. Race against yourself just to kind of farm coins at your own pace. First place. Interesting.
Well, mm, Tim, you got me now. You got
What?
me.
I'm
I
gonna
mean, to
try
be
that.
honest,
I'm gonna see what happens if I can join the race with a couple different wallets. See what happens.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what to say to be honest now.
No, no, no. Yeah, I was just wondering. That's all. I was wondering if like you could, because there's no real other place to what's it called? Like farm stuff with multiple. There's no benefit in any of the other games to farm. I guess you could play sheep and wolf by yourself, right? And get a lot of points that way.
I mean, it's not like I said. There is not a big difference at the points.
And the
I mean,
points.
you can play it, but you will get kicked out because you can play only up to 4 accounts at the same time. You know.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Cool. 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 All right. What
I mean,
else?
I
Anything
mean,
else? Sorry. Go
there are
ahead.
a lot of security things that only game developer understands. You know, so
Yep. Yep. Yep.
that's why I don't know what to say about this question you asked me before.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
I leave it. I always leave these things on Hero.
Perfect. Maybe Hero can tell me why it's a bad idea. Um, in chats. Okay, great. What else? And is that all you had for the week? That's a pretty big list, sir.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of an overview of the update.
Okay. All right, sir. Well, I thank you so much for joining us today. Um, I'm
Thank you for
glad.
inviting me.
Yes, yes. I'm glad that you're an Ergo. I'm glad that you're sticking with Ergo. I'm glad that you are developing something that I feel good about, um, projecting out there and trying to bring people in to use it. I enjoy playing it. I never have much time to game. I was when I was younger, I played some Diablo 2 quite a bit in my life, and that was about it. And then I played a little World of Warcraft for maybe a year or so, and then started a family, and then just felt guilty about playing. But Cyber CyberVerse is definitely a game that I can jump into at any time. Go check my daily rewards, maybe go fishing. Definitely use my new jackhammer to mine and make into bricks. And then if I catch you guys on the weekend, sometimes I'll jump into the wolf and sheep game, which is fun too. So
I hope
it's that
so.
it's that it's that kind of game that's like, you can jump in for an hour a week, you can jump in here and there kind of thing. It's not one of those, or you can be like Kilver and just go crazy and have many different cars and NFTs and mine all of them and level all of them. So it kind of has that advantage of having that spectrum of different types of users that can get enjoyment out of your game. You don't have to be a whale of somebody that's just constantly there playing. You can still get a ton of enjoyment by popping in when you can and doing what you can.
Yeah, I mean, the game is for a different kind of people. Like you said, you can play 20 or 60 minutes, or also grind all day.
Yeah,
But it
yeah,
also depends of your energy in the character.
yeah.
you,
True,
you
true,
can
true.
you need to charge or just wait to be recharged the energy.
I hope you don't. Well, I mean, it's up to you, but of course, it'd be nice to what's it called? The one thing that really upset me in like mobile games when you play is the required, it's a free to play game, but the required, oh, you ran out of steam, so you need to buy 5 diamonds to be able to get more steam kind of thing.
You mean pay to win?
Oh yeah, pay to win.
No, you can wait to recharge your energy, or also craft items to recharge the energy.
Yeah, so you can craft like coffee, right? Coffee will give you more
Yeah,
energy.
and we plan to make it even easier to craft these things, because right now it requires a lot of energy to even just craft the energy items. So yeah,
It's a
yeah,
net negative.
yeah. that- That's when Pixel is working on our crafting recipes.
It's 10 energy to craft a 5 energy coffee. Perfect. Sounds about right, sir.
Yeah, I mean,
And
there
the-
will be there will be there will be changes in the coming update. So I hope they will be successful, and it will be working completely fine, because those new changes are suggested by community member.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I look forward to what you have out. Hopefully we see a text dev update from you next week. Maybe that could be Hero's job. If Hero has, 5 minutes of time, can pop up a text update on there
I
or
mean,
anything.
last 2 weeks were a bit
I understand. I
a
understand.
bit
I'm just
busy.
giving you shit, Mr. Pixel. I'm just giving you shit. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm trying my best to actually publish the updates in development, but it not always work as I imagine.
No, no, it's good. It's good, sir. All right, man. Thanks so much for joining. I hope to see everybody around Siberia. I'm in the
Thanks for
game with my ID. Mr. Pixel's in the game. I believe you're Mr. Pixel in the game as well. So you're easy to spot if you're walking around there.
thanks for inviting me.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.